Hello guys and gals, and welcome to another episode of Unique Items. Today we're going to be going over another unique item, but this one is kind of special. It doesn't actually technically exist within the game, although it can be found if you deliberately hunt it down in a very specific way, and I'll talk about that. It's called Lightforge. Lightforge is a mace. It does 1 to 8 damage. It's indestructible, and it's currently a strength requirement of 16. Let's go ahead and identify it real quick. And I've only seen a couple items that have their name, like Griswold's Edge. Even before you identify it, still says Griswold's Edge, and Lightforge does the same thing. Lightforge has 40% light radius increase, massive light radius. Doesn't really matter too much for the game as far as that's concerned. I think it does increase like your aggro radius or something. It has 150% bonus damage, which is actually really nice, and that combines together with the 50% default undead damage that all maces get, although it is reduced by the 50% beast negative damage that all maces get. So it's 100% versus beast and 200% versus undead and 150 versus demons. It has a chance to hit a 25%, which is mediocre, but still decent. I mean, it's better than nothing. It has fire damage of 10 to 20, which is actually really good. It's a kind of like a separate damage that functions outside of the normal effects. It's also indestructible, which is really freaking cool. For melee weapons in general, like, it's nice to have indestructible weapons so you don't have to worry about them breaking all the time. And then on top of that, it also has this +8 to all attributes, which is pretty massive, honestly, considering it has all the other stuff on it. So it gets pretty decent amount of dexterity, which is 2 hit chance, strength, which is damage, gives you health and mana, all of which are welcome. The 10 to 20 fire damage is actually kind of ridiculous, and I'm going to show you really quickly how this fire damage works. But basically, the fire damage is kind of like a separate component, and it kind of acts as like a little mini explosion when you swing the weapon. I'm not entirely sure whether that fire damage is based on your 2 hit rates. I think it might be separate, because it kind of just looks like a spell that's cast. And you see right here, you can see that it's like a spell that casts and like a little explosion effect. It's kind of neat. Although it would be completely useless against the monsters that are highly resistant or immune to fire. So I'd keep that in mind. Now, I'm going to talk really quickly about how you can actually obtain this item legitimately, but how difficult it actually is to obtain. So according to what I've been able to discover about this, is there is a unique mace in the game called Crack Rust. I actually don't have that particular mace at the moment to do a video on, but I will get it. Now, Crack Rust is one of the maces in the game that takes this same spot. The original Lightforge mace was actually supposed to be given as a quest reward by Tremaine the Priest after the Archbishop of Lazarus was originally given by him has been completed. The problem is that it was never implemented into the game. So the item is in the game, but the quest to obtain the item was never really added. However, there was a unique situation that would occur is if you were in a game and the Crack Rust mace had already dropped, then the next mace that could potentially drop unique-wise would have to be either Lightforge, or it would morph into something else instead of Lightforge. Well, you could potentially obtain it, but it required some pretty serious grinding. Like, you had to get the Crack Rust to drop, and then you had to basically grind out the whole game hoping for the next one to drop a unique mace, and then hoping that that unique mace ended up being Lightforge. Now, Lightforge was actually a pretty storied item because it actually got hacked a lot, and it got turned into various pieces of equipment. The most notable of which was a helmet. Converting Lightforge into a helmet was actually really lucrative because, number one, it had +8 to all attributes. It also had 2 hit chance, damage, light radius, and even an additional fire damage bonus, which was a really nice combination when used together with something like a King's Sword of Haste, giving you even more damage, additional fire damage, and chance to hit, and even the all attributes was really nice. It's just a really nice weapon in general. It's one of the better weapons in the game, and funny thing is, it's not even really in the game. It's something that you have to kind of like finagle to make happen. And most of the time, they were not legitimately found. Instead, they were just simply edited into the game via game files, which was the normal way that they would actually be obtained. Although the legitimate way is possible, it's also extremely unlikely to actually get both of them to drop in the same game, the Crack Rust and the Lightforge at the same time. The Lightforge has a quality level of 1, by the way, which I believe means it drops in the earliest levels of the game. Overall, a very interesting item, and definitely pretty powerful. The illegal item, the Lightforge Great Helm, was one of the more common items that was used by pretty much everybody in the Diablo 1 scape. Diablo 1 was full of cheats and full of hacks, and an item like this that has such glorious stats converted into a different item definitely becomes useful. Kind of reminds me of Diablo 2 with the things like the Aki rings and you know, like the the wizard spike gloves and things like that came from the Mephisto glitch, right? I mean, if you can take an item that has really good stats and convert it into another, you know, base, like a helmet base, you can get much better effectiveness out of it, right? Anyway, as always, I do appreciate you guys and gals joining. Let's take a quick look and see how much it sells for. I totally forgot about that. We can at least take a look and see how much it sells for. It's probably, you know, come to think of it, like, you probably wouldn't sell it. It's so rare that if you did happen to obtain one, you probably wouldn't want to take a chance of selling it and getting rid of it, because there's probably not a very good chance you're going to get another one. It's just probably not going to happen, right?
Whoa,
but it's 6,668 gold for the Lightforge mace. As always, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe button if you enjoy the Diablo 1 content. I plan to do all the unique items, so hang around and you'll see. And as always, keep watching.